Free so song Baba ofeni biet kefio Abasi mikini sede ko free so song.
The special sports, culture and women affairs youth leaders. First to be mentioned is the President Niger Delta Youth Movement. Okay. May I announce the arrival of Honorable Minister Onofio Lu Assembly. He is here in person. Call to the high table, advice assistant to the Governor of Bayelsa State on youth affairs. By high table, welcome Barrister Nelson Abale. Thanks for your solidarity and support. Mr. Ebis Orubebe, Director General, the President, Niger Delta Student Union Government. Where is Tom Brayala? To the SA Youth Matters, may we say you are welcome. The members in the entourage of the SA Youth Matters, you are welcome. You are welcome. May I also announce the presence of VP Special Duties NAMS, Comrade. Announce the presence of the Senior Manager at the NDDC State Office, Akwa Ibom State, Imabo.
You're welcome, Engineer. I stand here to say you're welcome to this forum. He's unavoidably absent. He has actually extended his love to you people. And he also asked me to kindly seek your permission and then appeal to you to give us your full cooperation in this meeting. Thank you very much.
To have you in our midst. We know the youths are the future leaders, the pillars of this country. Am I right? And I must also say that NDDC as a commission cannot actually succeed in actually accomplishing anything without the support of our youths, our teeming youths, the youths of the Nigeria as a country and those of the Niger Delta. That's why we deem it fit, the commission deem it fit, the Office of the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, deem it fit to bring you together so that we can rub minds together and see how we're actually faring. How have we actually done during this period? Is there anything we can do to improve the relationship that exists and should exist between the Commission and the youths? Looking at the fact that this is an interventionist agency set up to carry out the infrastructural development in the Niger Delta communities. Are we actually impacted positively on the people? Or are there areas of improvement that we need to look at? That's why we assemble here. And the MD-CEO has mandated his special assistants on the youth matters in the person of Barrister Turner, here seated, honorably seated, to come in and then talk with you, find out how we are actually faring. What can we do to really improve upon the situation so that the goal of making a difference will actually be achieved. So that I would say is the essence of our being here. He will talk more on that. I stand here on behalf of the Akwa Ibom State representative of the governing board of the commission and the director NDDC Akwa Ibom State office, who are unavoidably absent, to welcome all of you that have traveled far and wide from the various communities to come and be with us. So I welcome you to this program together with our women who are also here represented. I believe that you have a fruitful discussion, a meaningful one. We know Akwa Ibom State is a very peaceful and calm state. Am I right? I also believe that you give your support so that at the end of the day we'll still record that that have that record as being a very peaceful and enduring and stable state. After the Commission is seeking to carry out projects and programs that are stable, enduring, and actually seeking to improve the welfare of our youth. So I most honorably welcome you and urge you to relax, feel free, leave all the tensions that you pass through throughout the day and contribute meaningfully, so that at the end of the day we will go home refreshed and know that there are things we need to work on so that we can actually better the lots of the youths, the women, and the generality of the Niger Delta groups. So I welcome you to this occasion. Thank you very much.
To declare the town hall meeting formally open.
A man we have gone through struggle together at the student level. The SAU Niger Delta Development Commission, Barrister George Turner, the Special Assistant to the Governor on Youth Matters of Bayelsa State, the Deputy Director in the State Office of NDDC representing the State Commissioner, and all other guests on this high table, the youth of the Niger Delta states, and then specifically the youth of Akwa Ibom. Build the youth! Build the nation! Build the nation! Build the youth! Of the greatest Nigerian student! Of the greatest Nigerian youth! Iban Isong! Iban Ifono! Iban Isoro! Iban Menobombo! Let me crave your indulgence. I thought it was to stand on the existing protocol that has been established for this event. Let me thank you for giving me the singular privilege to be the chairman of this town hall on the Akwa Ibom leg. To show you how we work, it just took just a text message from you yesterday night when you said you were driving into town. And then I said I was going to be available. And I'm here. I'm here for two reasons. One, that this is my constituency. Secondly, that you have been my friend over the years. Then the third one is that I'm here to support the transformation agenda of Mr. President. Let me begin by welcoming you to Akwa Ibom State. But first and foremost, let me ask you to convey the feelings of the youth of Akwa Ibom by appreciation to Mr. President, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our own Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, for the kind appointment of a technocrat, of a knowledgeable man to the position of MD of NDDC in the person of Barrister Senior. Because it is a square peg in a square hole. He has been there in NDDC before, has been in an acting capacity at the hands of affairs, and understands the problem of NDDC. And that is why we are proud of him. All the youth, the state government is behind Barrister Senior as the MD of NDDC. So we want you to thank Mr. President for us. Again, convey our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. President for the appointment of Engineer Young as the state rep. And then we are quite very happy. We want to use this opportunity on behalf of the youth of Akwa Ibom to thank His Excellency the Governor, Chief Dr. Gosul Babio, CON, for recommending these persons to Mr. President. And these are people that the youth are proud of and will continue to be proud of. So we thank Mr. President for that. Then let me welcome you to the line of uncommon transformation. And I believe that it is in line with the transformation agenda of Mr. President. If you count 2 or 3 brothers that Mr. President has in this country, when you count, no matter where you start counting, there is no way you will not mention Chief Dr. Gosul Babio, His Excellency, because that is the President's right-hand man. So him being behind the President, besides the President, and always around the President, that means that the entire youth of the state and the entire youth behind the common transformation that you've seen today is already behind Mr. President. So we welcome you to the land of uncommon transformation. And after this meeting, my friend, my brother, my leader, I will take you personally to drive around Uyo to see the new Uyo. What we call New York today was only York. After the development of York, people had to give it a name. They added New York. It would have been New Yorkshire. So we are welcoming to New Uyo, where you will see road, very well tarred road, lead you extremely, in short, the journey does not end. And we have seen the same thing NDDC, we have seen the same thing that the state government is doing in the package of NDDC. And then let me, driving around, we would show you what we have done in each sectors of government. I'm speaking authoritatively as the Chairman House Committee on Finance and Appropriation, who take charge of the state budget. So I understand what governance is in the states. So what I'm saying is, in the health sector, you will see the 20th anniversary hospital. In the sports sector, you will see the best international stadium we have. In the social sector, you will hear the empowerment of the youth and the students. And that is why somebody like me at the age of 33, I could be a member of the House of Assembly in 2011. So that is what the youth of Akwa Ibom, that is what His Excellency, the Uncommon Transformer, is doing. So let me take you to the agenda for today. Let me commend you, sir. We have had people who have held these offices before, but they did not have time to come and interact with the youth to know the problems of the youth. So I want to thank you for coming down and coming to associate with the grassroots, the people that make things happen, to be able to help their feelings and then change their pulse, share in their aspirations, share in their yearnings, so that you can know how to develop and then empower these youth seated here. If we were to gather the entire youth of Akwa Ibom, sir, to welcome you today, this hall is very small. Even our Ibom hall would be very small to show you the youth who are in support of government, who are in support of what you are doing. So on behalf of the youth of Akwa Ibom, I want to thank you for coming down to talk with us. And I know that you have here well independent-minded youth that will tell you if it is good, they will tell you it is good. If it is not good, they will tell you it's not good. Where they need a development, where they need improvement, they will tell you openly that they need improvement in field A, B, and C. So I want to thank you for coming to associate with us and coming to talk with us through this town hall meeting. And I know that there are so many other persons that should be here. I know we are expecting them, like the state youth, the chairman of the state youth caucus, the chairman of the state youth council, and the state youth leader of the ruling party, which is the People's Democratic Party, which is the party in charge, not only in Akwa Ibom State, but in Nigeria. I believe that they are going to be part and parcel of it, because that would make the real gathering of the youth of the state. Sir, let me not bore you. Let me send our warm regards to Mr. President. We read in the news yesterday by the Minister of Niger Delta that Mr. President has given approval for the extension of East-West Road to cut across from Oron to Calabar. Please, we thank Mr. President, because we have been crying from the Oron axis on the continuation of that road. And at a point, we had to have a court in that Oron road, and the state government had to go in to intervene. And we must thank the youth of Oron Nation who rallied around government and supported government, most especially the Sulawaro. I want to thank them for what they have done in government, supporting government by not being violent, but bringing their issues that bother them as it concerns the part of the road that was bad to the attention of government peaceably. So I want to thank Mr. President for that. But so we want to say there were too many packages under NDDC when we started, because I might not be given an opportunity to say something here and now. And I don't want to talk too much because there are so many youths that will make their presentation. In those days, I started as a youth activist. You are quite aware, as student activist. So we used to be in NDDC office. But let me use the opportunity before I say what I want to say to thank the youths of today. In the days of real struggle of NDDC, were the days of the planting or plantation or plantain in NDDC office, or engaging with NDDC in a manner that would bring crisis to the polity. But today the youth is engaging NDDC peaceably and sitting down constructively to engage NDDC without fisticuffs, without fighting, without confrontation. So I want to thank you for what you've been able to do for the youth of the Niger Delta states. And I want to thank the youth of Niger Delta states too for understanding how to engage with NDDC to get what belongs to them. And I want to urge us that we have one of our own in NDDC office today, and that means that everything we want in NDDC, we will get it by sitting down to negotiate peaceably without getting it in confrontation. He is a very down-to-earth man. I know that he would give his contacts. For those of you who don't know him, he will give his contacts, and then you can reach him at any time to present the problem that affects communities. So let me say, as youth of those days, we used to have some packages from NDDC. Like, the first phone I got in this life was a phone NDDC gave a package from Glo in 2006. It came with some plastic case and came with a phone set, came with a SIM card, and came with a big umbrella for us to go and start phone business. I got that first package. That is when I started my first business. It was what NDDC gave to me before His Excellency Chief Dr. Gosurugo discovered me and made me his PA on protocol matters. So I started with the package of NDDC. Other people benefited. Still under NDDC, I know that in this day, 7 persons to boost agriculture were given what I call high-yielding variety of cassava stem to go and plant. I know that those packages helped, and I want to urge NDDC to continue with that package. Going further, I want NDDC to look at what is present now, what is present in the world, and what can fit the youth of the Niger Delta state going forward. Is number 1 is social entrepreneurship, and number 2 is innovation. How can we train our people to be able to think and do research and come up with innovations that will put food on the table and solve social problems that we have? And that is why I want to encourage NDDC to begin to look beyond giving the fish. They're looking at training us on how to fish. And I know that you are capable to bring this before the board and management of NDDC. Without taking much of the time, we want to go back to agriculture. And we want to go back to entrepreneurship development. We can only do that if we are encouraged by way of training, before we now begin to talk about by way of assistance, maybe in agriculture, by way of subsidy. And this subsidy, just like what we're doing in the state government, under the integrated farmer scheme of His Excellency, where youth are trained over a period of time and given a revolving loan of 750,000 naira to go and do farming. I know that NDDC can do better this. We have problems with land acquisition, where we can go into, which hampers our going into commercialized farming. But I know that with NDDC, we can conquer that. We can get certain communities to donate land and then build some houses, well-furnished houses, and then provide electricity for those of our youth to go and reside in those farms. Give them the best farming implements, mechanized farming implements, so that we can take away farm drudgery. And then they can be made to live in those farms under good conditions, like what we have in Shonga farms, in like the farms we have in Kwara State. We can get communities to do this. And I know that the youth gathered here today are going to give you their different perspective on what we can do. First, number 1, to ensure peace in our community. Because without peace, there is no development. Secondly, on how they can be empowered. And thirdly, without mincing words, how we can rise in unison to support the continuation of the transformation agenda. Because transformation agenda is what guarantees our development, is what guarantees our empowerment. So whosoever represents the face of transformation agenda, today being Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and for the continuation of that transformation agenda, we will rise today in this meeting and agree that transformation agenda must continue. And for it to continue, His Excellency Chief Dr. Jonathan must continue for a second term. And let me say here, on behalf of the youths, every time, every person, because we are speaking as the youth of Niger Delta now, every time any person from any region of this country have had the opportunity to ascend to the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we've always rallied around to respect the occupant of that office. We have never insulted or denigrated that office. So we are going to rise here to say, whosoever wants to insult and denigrate that office, we the youth of Niger Delta will not accept it. We are rising to say, forget about the individual who occupies that office. Look at the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because it needs to be respected. It needs to be treated with decorum. So we are going to rise here that the office of Mr. President, whosoever is occupant, must be respected. respected and must be given its due course. And as of that, no matter what they are doing, what they are saying, we are saying that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. What was good for other parts of the country is good for this part of the country. For the fact that we supported every other part of the country to take their 2 terms in office, we as of right, guaranteed by the Constitution, the governor of the land, we must rise and support one of our own to take his 2nd term in office. And nothing, no amount of intimidation, no amount of gun drop, no amount of any killing would stop. We know this and we want to say authoritatively that when the time comes, we will show with our vote and the mandate that we have. May God bless you. May God bless Niger Delta State. May God bless the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May God bless His Excellency Chief Dr. Gosulogoro Pabio in Jesus' mighty name. Chairman of this town hall meeting, and as a youth, I declare this town hall meeting open in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit.
Thank you. The DG Jonathan Sambo Youth Support Movement. I want to believe when he gets back to Abuja. Welcome, sir. We are down to the business of the day, the town hall meeting proper. By what I have heard from the man who I fully invite the man himself, the SA himself, the man behind all that we are, the reawakening, the youth reawakening in the region, the man who has propagated the gospel of peace far and wide the region, the man that's Ambassador Chief Barrister, I like calling him that way, Ambassador Chief Barrister George Alaptona, member of the Order of the Niger.
The man you see here now journeyed in several locations from this very part of the country to far away Maiduguri, sometimes on the lorry that carries tomato. So I'm sure you know that he didn't just fall from heaven to attain the heights, of course, achieved today. Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Bayelsa State on Student Matters. My dear Deputy Director, Administration, who is also doubling as a state rep for the purpose of our conversation. The Niger Delta Youth Movement, the President of the Niger Delta Student Union Government, our own Director General of the Jonathan Youth Vanguard, Youth Liaison Officer for Abia, known for Rivers, Imo, and Bayelsa State, in the office of the SA.
Now, from my state chairman, I should talk on behalf of you, caucus. Please, I with due apology, please. Akwa Ibom, please, we are youth caucus, the political youth group in Akwa Ibom State. We are here to tender our loyalty and support to Niger Delta, the Niger Delta Development Commission, through the Honorable Commissioner sitting at my AC on you. Please, I want to say on this board that we should be recognized, because what I see now, even during the crisis that happened some hours ago, I came to hear about it, that the youth of Akwa Ibom State are not recognized in NDDC down there. Instead, people from Niger Delta and other places come down here to talk on behalf of us. So please, it is a plea we are begging, youth of us is begging the high table, that we should be recognized, we should be involved in all the activities of Niger Delta Commission. But moreover, we are the political group of youth, we are the political body of youth in Akwa Ibom State. I don't know where you also will see a political group and recognize instead of youth caucus. Youth caucus and future is sure. Yeah, so because what I say so is that we are the future leaders of tomorrow. We should start from somewhere. We should start from somewhere. Akwa Ibom. Yeah. Akwa Ibom. Yeah. Very sure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
One Niger Delta. I want to stand on the existing protocol, sir. My observation in NDDC is this, sir. That anytime there is any occasion, we don't find women, only the men are called upon as youth. We only come up to say empowerment for the young ladies and so on and so forth. So where is the place of the women, the youth women? Women from 40 years down or 50 years down. Where is the place for us? We know what we do in this country when it comes to voting. We do en masse. So why is it that anytime they talk about the youth of Niger Delta, the women are not found to send out for training? The women are not found in many things. The women are not allowed to do many things. That's the question, my observation, sir. We only found with this empowerment, come and take machine, and go and so. But when they say decision making, the women are not found there. The youth, women from 40 years down. Please, sir, that's what I want to say. And thank you.
And I want to thank everybody for giving all this audience, because it has never been like this. And we are talking about youth and abandoned contracts. I think my own suggestion, because somebody came up and says the youth this thing in Akwa Ibom. I think there's a lot of youth that doesn't have anything doing. Like this guy mentioned that some of the abandoned contracts here, we should look for the youth, add them to the contractor's site, so that instead of them sitting down in the house doing nothing, there should be like a check and balance to the contractors. They should report individually to the commission, because a contractor will get money, travel out, bought all those money and come to the NDDC and give them cock and bull story. But the situation these people that doesn't have anything doing are there. I think they will have a lot to do and will get to somewhere. After that, I mean, my in-law met me in Ghana. I'm working for a refinery in Ghana. Like my estate said, that by the time you bring a Togolese Kyla to this place, you get it raw for them to do something for you. Why are we going after a Togolese this thing? Because they are good. So in Ghana, I even wanted to go to my in-law and mention this, that since he's working with the youth, we should rally around with the youth in Akwa Ibom, take them to a place like Ghana, put them in formation, because everybody will be graduates. By the time we finish the training, maybe 6 months or 1 year, we'll bring them back here and put them back into some of the government contracts here. I think that will go a long way to help us. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
The president of Akwa Ibom Youth Umbrella. I formed that group because of information gap that is existing in the youth sector. So please, what I want to say is that so please, in most of the youth programs that NDDC have to offer does not get to the youth, mostly maybe because of the channel of information. So I want to give us an input that NDDC should have an internet for the youth, so that anytime we want to access that program, we can get there and know what you have to offer for. And secondly, I want to also give us an input that NDDC this time around, they should implement their programs. I mean, what I mean is that after training the youth, you should give them package. Like I was trained on agri fishery, and up till now, Dr. Amadi, Director Agri, came on air that there is 1 billion naira to be given to you. Till now, I've not got it. So I think it has to do with the youth. because the program is for the youth. So please, you should know that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to say, next time, correction will be taken. I saw the whole Abawa here. I saw the free Wareke. I didn't see the Anang representative. I'm the national coordinator, contact and mobilization, Tofena, and CWC member in Afena. And Afena is a body group that has an apex group of the youth, or apex youth group in Afena. When you talk about Atenang is a political group, but the Afena that is recognized by the entire Afena is Tofena, the children of Afena. So these things should be corrected, so that by the time the NDDC will come to that section, the youth will be so happy to receive them. Not by the time they come, the people will say they didn't recognize them. So that's what I want to say. And another thing I want to also add in here is when we are talking about acquisition centers, already government itself has abandoned a lot of acquisition centers in all over Akwa Ibom states. I think the NDDC can take it over from them. Like in my place, we have one in Abak that is abandoned for so many years. And I think NDDC can, instead of going to build another site, should come and take it over from where they stop and bring in our youth to work there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chairman, the Special Assistant and Amaze being our guest today. My special thanks to the only woman on the high table. Please, I so much thank you for giving us time on this town hall meeting, especially the women. I am standing here, I'm a market woman, despite the fact that they are not here because of the celebration of the Children's Day. They are taking care of the children and they were at the stadium. Please, I wish to let you know that some of us do not have store to sell. If we don't have store to sell, there is no market for us to sell. I think our children are in problems because some of us, we are widows. And those children are fatherless. Without the mother, they cannot have a better life. So, my chairman, the special assistant, please, you look into that case. I raise my case.
I wish to stand on the existing protocol. There are two things I want to mention here. First is the football competition that was initiated by NDY in 2004. It was successfully concluded, and I was privileged to be the LOC secretary that year. But the next edition, some people went in to hijack the competition, and we know that football is what our youth, some of our talented youth are using to develop their career, like Vincent Inyama and the rest. So I want NDDC to revive that competition. The next edition, they started it up till today. That was the next year after 2004. They've not been able to conclude it, just because some people thought there was too much to be eaten from there. Then they hijacked it up till today. But I give thanks to NDDC that in conjunction with NDY, when Onyenge was the national president, it was successfully done. Then the second thing is I'm asking about the water hyacinth. When is it coming? And because we are really expecting it to come. Thank you very much.
Thereafter, I will give to 07, our brother.
NDDC. Actually, you talk about youth empowerment. And one of the youth which was being empowered by NDDC. Okay. The project, the training was successful, but they left us halfway. We weren't empowered. We were trained on marine engineering, maritime academy, which I still believe the training is still ongoing. A friend of mine called me that Atoro. A friend of mine called me that applied for crane operator, that they haven't been called. I was just trying to plead with him that he should be patient. They will be called. Actually, we were being trained and being led. I would have suggested, my own suggestion, I would have suggested, after the training, NDDC would have met with some companies, got us absorbed into, either as a trainer, to train on the job in which you're being trained in maritime, or as an IT trainer, so that after the whole training, we would like have something to like write home about instead of leaving us halfway. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I don't have much to say, but just few. My message goes this way. Number one, the youth of Akwa Ibom are not fully carried along on post-amnesty program. Then now, since the youth of Akwa Ibom was not carried fully post-amnesty program, I want the NDC to carry the youth of Akwa Ibom in other subsequent programs, mostly in oil and gas sector. Then, this is the first time in the history of NDC that we have this kind of program, town hall meeting, to seek and to hear from the all team youth in Niger Delta Region. I thank the MD and the chairman SA, the only woman coordinator in the state, with our youth friend, house member, and all the rest on high table. May God give you more able. In Jesus' name.
A whole lot is being analyzed, and I'm sure that even if we have cause to now end our tour here, the fourth governing board will have a good document to work with. I'd like to thank you for your very, very useful contributions. And 007, I recall that we spoke, two of us as brothers, but that is private. It ought to have been official. I'm sure the next time I'm coming, the state office will handle the official part very well with you. We'll now take a few responses. I'm sure the director, single opinion here will be wasted. We'll put together everything that we said here, and my boss, the MD CEO, will be briefed diligently, and I'm sure in his very characteristic manner, you will begin to see improvement in some of the areas you've had cause to make few complaints. But in fact, on the scholarship scheme, for those of you who made appeal for other specializations to be considered, let me bring to you the good news that management have already considered the expansion or liberation of the foreign scholarship program to include arts and humanities. I'm sure that from the next advertisement that will come up, those in arts will have the opportunities to benefit. Football competition. You see, the good thing is that the MD is well informed and grounded when you talk about the workings of the NDDC. In fact, it's a ranking, it's not just MD of NDDC, a ranking officer in the commission, because I'm sure he's the longest visitor. You know, the commission is like a hotel. You check in, you check out. You have a check-in date, you have a check-out date, but for my boss, it had the opportunity to come in again and again and again. And so things are now beginning to take shape. Let me tell you that in few weeks from now, the commission is putting together for the first time Niger Delta Sports Conference. The sports conference will discuss every other issues, including the Niger Delta Unity Cup. And we have already gotten the MD's nod for a wonderful package, the Niger Delta Unity Football Cup competition, which will come shortly after the conference. So you see that we are on the same page. This MD knows what to do and knows how to go about them at the right time. Is delivering dividends in line with Mr. President's transformation agenda. My brother who talked about the agric loan, my director of agric and fishing is not in error when he told you that 1 billion naira has been made available for you. But the point is that, of course, there has to be processes and procedures. You will not sit at home and expect agri funds to come. The money is deposited with the Bank of Agriculture. When you went for that agri training, I'm sure you were told to do something. And for the fact that you are complaining today, it means you didn't do what you were told to do. You were asked to put yourself together under cooperatives and approach the Commission and the Bank of Agriculture for loan. I can tell you lots of your colleagues that went for that training with you are already established in River State, fish farms and all that. In fact, I don't know how many of you attended the youth conference in Port Harcourt. You would have seen evidence, people who came out to say, yes, we are beneficiaries of the NDDC agricultural loan. In fact, an executive director at the Bank of Agriculture was on hand that day to provide further information as to how our youth can access the loan. So I encourage you, please look out for a few of your colleagues, come together under a cooperative, consult the office. They will further enlighten you on what to do. Well, I'm sure these are the ones that I can have authority to clarify a few things about. The rest, as I promised, we'll take them back to Port Harcourt, and the MD CEO will look at them and also have time to watch what has happened here. And I assure you that the new NDDC under Sir Barrister Lassie Danabia has come to stay. On behalf of all of us, on behalf of my boss, the MDCO, I'd like to thank you and announce that this session has now come to can end. God bless all of us.